Welcome back, everybody, to the Otaku Brothers podcast. It has been a minute.
It has been.
I feel like most of that is my fault,
No,
but
true.
we're back. Episode 207. First of all, I just
107.
want to say thanks.
107.
I was thinking of our subscriber count. Sorry.
It's okay.
I want to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. That was our goal. We wanted to pass before the end of the year.
We did it.
We did do it.
We did
All thanks
it.
to you guys. Shout out everyone. We appreciate the love and support, and we'll keep doing what we do.
Yeah.
But yes, as Joseph was saying, this is 107, not 207. So.
Yeah, we're here. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Ben, I think that's a good place to start before we get into anything. How was your Christmas, man? It's been I hadn't gotten to see you in a while, so I know some of the stuff you got, but what was it like? How was your Christmas?
It was good. It was busy.
Mm-hmm.
Started in the morning, and then I ended up getting home at like 9 o'clock, just running around places, people to see.
Nice.
It was a good Christmas. Enjoyed it. Very enjoyable. Good little break from work. But I still have to work while I'm here, so
Yeah, that's fair.
it's not that much of a break.
Mm-hmm. But hey,
How was you?
it's better than nothing. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good just getting to see the family, kind of getting away. This is the first time in a long time where I have literally nothing to do, and it kind of sucks and it kind of doesn't at the same time. I've literally had so much free time. I'm catching up on shows, anime finally, other shows like Arcane. Ben, I started season 2. It's peak. It's awesome so far. But yeah, so it's been nice getting to catch up on other shows and just getting to spend time with fam. Yeah, so it was good. And then I get to see you and the boys next week, man. We're going to be going to Colorado. So don't know if I'm going to be recording any of it just because it'll be us. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time to just relax before we get back into at least school for me, and hopefully you get some time off work. So that'll be fun. But yeah, it was good. It was nice. It was a chill Christmas. Didn't ask for too much just because we're going on trips and things like that, as you know. But I did get some cool stuff, man. I got the first volume of Berserk, the deluxe edition. I'm sure I'll show it off eventually later on. And then I got some cool Bleach figures as well, which I literally didn't expect. My family was just like, "Oh, he's into anime. Let's just get him something for some shows," which is why I ended up getting a One Piece wall art, and it was the hardest thing to be like, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, but like, I'm throwing this in the trash. So yeah, that was cool. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a happy Christmas. Like you said, just good getting to be with family and relax. So, but the grind doesn't stop. So we got to get back to work soon. And yeah, it's a nice little break, but I'm honestly excited to get back into the swing of things already and just get going and finish off my final semester of college. So it'll be a good time. Excited to tie that loose end, tie the rope, and then just start a new chapter. So it should be good. But regardless, Ben, that's life stuff. That's not what people are here for. They're here for peak. And Ben, so much peak has happened in this last week. All 4 of our shows, well, technically 3 of them that we were watching ended this week.
Yeah.
Blue Lock, Bleach Part 3, Dandadan ended. Blue Box is it just finished its first court. It's gonna actually be coming back in January, so it's gonna be here right around the corner soon. But still, the first court ended, so a lot has happened, and we're gonna talk about all of it. But before we do that, Ben, I think like you said, we kind of did miss a couple weeks. I know last week I recorded a video just kind of talking about all the news from Jump Festa that happened. Maybe we could go over that before it again, just a tinier recap of it, just to because I know I haven't really heard your thoughts about everything that happened. So it'll be nice to do that. So I think first of all, Ben, the biggest thing that happened for me was obviously the Chainsaw Man trailer. So I would love to hear your thoughts because I don't think I've really talked to you about it in general at all about it. So so this will be good.
A little bit. But on here we haven't. But no, I'm actually really excited for it. It looks really well.
So good.
I don't know if you remember, but I was talking about how the art style from season one and compared to the movie, it looks really different.
Yes, yes.
And I really like the difference because it seems like it fits Fujimoto's art style a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Just the soft, not as many shadows and colors kind of thing.
Yes.
Um, and I like that. I think it fits Chainsaw Man more. It doesn't look like they're using any CGI, and if they are, it's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it just looks like a well-crafted piece of material that fits his art style, and I'm
I
really excited for it.
I couldn't agree more, dude. I watched it and I was like, I am so happy that it took this long. Like I don't care how like I know we've been sitting here waiting for a trailer for something for so long, but oh my
Yeah.
goodness, like it looked great. It looked great. I think that was one of my biggest complaints about season one, and I think in general the community's biggest complaint. And I really wouldn't even call it a complaint because it's just a different art style direction. But yeah, I think
Mhm.
that I kind of was the tone and shading of Chainsaw Man one definitely looked a little off. Not off, I guess, just different than what I was expecting, and I think what a lot of people were expecting compared to Mappa's other work. And
Yeah.
uh, and I think this style is so much better. I think it's so much more colorful and vibrant, which is what you think of when you think of the Chainsaw Man like series and like the art illustrations that we've gotten so far that are colored in the few shots like that. It's a lot more brighter
Mhm.
and vibrant. I think Makima is a good example of how they show her off in the trailer. Her hair's a lot more red. Her eye color is popping so much more, so you could tell
Yeah.
like she's definitely like a weird character that she's like doesn't have normal eyes, and I think that's just so much better. I think it does look so clean. Reze looks incredible. I remember I was talking to you, Ben, but I could not stop hearing Chinatsu's voice once I realized they were the same
Yeah.
voice actor. I was like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. This is crazy that Reze is voiced by her. So yeah, great casting. She's doing awesome in Blue Box. So that's gonna be exciting to see how she does it. And then also Beam. Beam's also the same voice actor who plays Okarun from Dandadan. So every time he was shouting, I just heard Okarun. So that was funny as well.
I
Um,
just whenever Okarun is talking, all I hear is Tanjiro.
mhm.
Like I
He
don't.
also does play Tanjiro. See,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't care much for Tanjiro and Demon Slayer, but I need to go back and watch Demon Slayer. I feel like his voice did sound different to me, but I probably should rewatch it.
I think it's a the way that Okarun is voiced. He's
Mhm.
a lot more soft sometimes. Where I feel like Tanjiro's a little bit more high pitched and like kind of not screaming, but he's more like forward with his words.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what I recognize, like whenever Okarun's doing that, and then Beam's character almost talks the same as Tanjiro. It feels like because whenever
Mhm.
Beam was talking, I just immediately heard Tanjiro.
Mhm. Yes. So
But yeah,
yeah, cool. It's gonna be great. Obviously, I don't want to kind of get too much into the story for spoiler reasons and all that, but it looks great. Reze looks amazing. Makima looks great. This and again, me and Ben have said this 100 times, but this is such an important movie for Chainsaw Man because this
Mhm.
is the point in the story where it doesn't like slow down ever. Like once after this arc, it is just complete action nonstop, and I think it is going to be a very monumental shift for Chainsaw Man the series. I think it's people are going to start really understanding why people have been hyping up Chainsaw Man after this movie. So I'm very
Yeah,
excited for it. I think it's going to be our JJK season two. So it's I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. So it'll be fun. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things that came out of Jump Festa. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think all we got is a Japanese release of sometime in 2025. Hopefully
Mhm.
sooner than later. It would really suck if it was like a fall release in 2025 because that would mean then we wouldn't get it probably here in the states till the 2026. So
Yeah,
hopefully it's like summertime 2025, which would be good. Maybe that would fit the aesthetic of Chainsaw Man of the movie. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna go for a fall release, but hopefully the first 6 months of 2025 would be nice because then we know we would at least get in 2025 here in the U.S.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but that was the biggest thing for me at Jump Fest event. Is I know there's some other stuff that we can cover. But is there anything specific you wanted to mention from there?
I think I just wanted to go over the shows that are coming out in 2025 because
Yes.
there are a lot, and it's not like just random shows. Like it's big hitters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Solo Leveling. The Apothecary Diaries is really big.
Mm-hmm.
Sakamoto Days. I'm not saying One Piece. Windbreaker's coming back. Fire Force Season 3, which is the final
That's
season.
right.
Dandadan Season 2 already got announced
Mm-hmm.
for July, which is
Yep.
really good. The final season for My Hero is coming out, as well as My Hero Vigilante's getting an adaptation. I forgot about Spy Family. I forgot
Yep.
that was still a show. Spy Family Season 3 is coming out.
Yes, it is.
Kaiju number 8's coming back. The Demon
Oh
Slayer movie.
shoot.
The Chainsaw Man movie. And then JJK Season 3 is rumored for 2025
Mm-hmm.
as well as the last core of Bleach.
Yes. Yes. You're
Those are,
forgetting,
that's
Ben, you're also forgetting. We got Dress Up Darling, and we get 100 Girlfriends. It's also
Oh
coming back. So it is that is a lot. That actually is a lot, Ben. It's
I know,
damn.
it's
Yeah. That is
Hell's
crazy.
Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
Um,
Yes. That's gonna be good. I'm excited for that. So damn, yeah, dude, that is a lot. 2025, and I'm excited. We're probably going to talk about this more whenever we do our award ceremony. We'll do a little recap of 2024, but 2024 has been a little slow. I started looking at the shows that I was watching, and Ben, I think I've only watched like 11 to 13 shows this season or this year
really?
of like content from this year that's come out. I've also obviously
Yeah.
watched other shows like Code Geass, things like that, but that doesn't count. But just in 2024 anime releases, it's only been like 13 to 14 shows that I've watched, and I'm like, I feel like
Mhm.
that's not a lot, and I don't know, but I don't know. So I'm hoping 2025 brings us some good stuff. A lot of hopefully even some newcomers as well. Some hidden gems that we're not even thinking about as well, which would be very
Oh
cool.
yeah. Every season there's always a few shows that are those hidden gems, and
Hmm.
like on top of all of the big hitters that we have coming out, it's
Correct. Correct.
gonna be stacked.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, like some of those shows. Did you watch the trailer for like Solo Leveling? I know Hell's Paradise
Mhm.
had its trailer release. Um,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, there's so much good stuff. I'm Dress of Darling. We got a visual release for that as well. Getting to see some of the new cosplays that Marian's going to be doing. It's exciting, man. It's exciting. I'm very excited for Dress Up to return. Yeah, dude. I was looking back and I was like, man, that I think it was like 2022. That's when Dress Up came out, and I was like, it was such a good year for rom coms, dude. I think that's the year that came out. Call of the Night, Kaguya-sama Love is War season 3, and then a married couple came out, and I was like, oh my god, it was the Four Horsemen, dude. It was great. So yeah, I desperately want Dress Up back. So that's gonna be fun. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I think it does need to come back sooner than later.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm really happy for this Jump Festa thing. It was very exciting getting to see all the stuff come out. I feel like do they do these Jump Festas all the time? This one just seems so big and like just so massive.
It's
But
once a year.
yeah, so okay,
Because
well,
um, ah, last year is whenever. Remember that Naruto contest? And they're like, it was like a popularity contest, and then
yes.
whoever got number one got their own one shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the winner was announced at last year's Jump Fest.
Mm.
So it happens once a year.
Hmm.
I guess it just depends on the stuff that's out, but that's usually where all the big announcements come from. I guess this year was just a lot bigger than
Yeah.
normal.
Hmm. Well, there we go. But yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of a couple other things, as always, I got to give my couple JoJo news. We finally got confirmation that JoJo Worlds 3 is going to be happening in April 2025. So that's
Mhm.
huge. That is the first JoJo Worlds is when we got confirmation about Stone Ocean. So
Yeah.
hopefully we get some Steel Ball Run news. I know the Steel Ball Run Volume 1 manga cover just dropped in English, so we got to see the English cover for it. It's been a little controversial. A lot of people have mixed feelings on it. I personally really like it, to be honest, just because I like how it's the front cover is literally just a one for one of the Japanese manga cover. I know for some of the variations they change them, so I like how it's just
Mhm.
gonna stick to that format. But yeah, hopefully we get some Steel Ball Run news in April. So stay tuned for that in 4 months. God, 4 months, 2025. That's crazy. It doesn't even sound real. But yeah, so that's some fun JoJo news. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got from Jump Festa, man. If you guys want a little more detailed breakdown of it, go ahead and look at the video, previous video on our channel for stuff about it. I go a little more in depth on the trailers and whatnot. So yeah, but anything else been from Jump Fest that you're excited for, or just which? Okay, actually, let me a better question. What are like your three most like hype shows that you're looking forward to, or three hyped things for 2025?
I think honestly, in third place, I want to put Kaiju. I really enjoyed watching Kaiju number eight,
Kaiju was fun. That's not a bad take. It's not a bad take at all.
but I'm kind of split between everything because there's Dress Up Darling, there's
Oh,
Dandadan,
there's so much, dude. There's so
there's a
much.
Chainsaw Man movie, and then there's Bleach. I think
Bleach,
those are the
yeah,
four I'm really split on. But I think
yeah.
Bleach is definitely my most excited thing, just because that's
Mhm.
going to be the last core of this arc. It's going to be crazy. I was doing some research earlier today, and this core ended at chapter 661,
Mm.
and there's only 698 chapters, so there's only like 30 chapters, which is around 7 episodes, and each
Oh,
core is like 14
yeah.
episodes. So there's gonna be a lot of original stuff in this core, which I'm
That's
kind of excited for.
awesome. Hell yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Whenever you told me, we'll get into more of the Bleach stuff in a little bit. But yeah, just the fact that you told me a lot of the stuff wasn't in the manga, I was like, wow. And that just makes me want to go through and read the manga more, just so I can see the differences. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Bleach, that's not a bad pick at all. Yeah, I think for me, it's probably got to be the Chainsaw Man movie, just because, yeah. But then I think Dress Up, Dandadan, Bleach, those are all good. I'm also, I don't know if it's just the art style, but just there's something about Sakamoto Days that is really attracting me. I'm very excited for Sakamoto Days. It looks good. It looks good. I like those type of
We'll see.
assassin spy shows. It looks fun.
Yeah.
So. Mm. But yeah, not bad at all. But Ben, without further ado, I think it's time for our main course. Four shows we are watching ended today. So yeah, I think it's great that we get to go in and talk about them all. I think it would be great to save Blue Lock for last. I think
Yeah,
because
it's
that's the most I definitely want to talk about. But I think
yeah.
first we could talk about Blue Box because one that technically hasn't even ended yet. So it's on a
Yeah.
little hiatus until January when it comes back, which is honestly like I think in like 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks it's coming back if that. So
Coming back
um,
Thursday,
oh, is it already that soon?
January
Okay.
2nd.
Oh, damn. Okay, well, yeah. So it's like a what? Not even a week off, I guess, really. So, but anyways, it's its second core. But I think it's a good idea to just talk about it. The first core, at least, just because of how, just just to our thoughts on the show so far, especially because it is the only new show that we did start this core, so or the
Hmm.
season. So yeah, thoughts on Blue Box, Ben? I think it started off
W.
yeah, no, I agree. W's in the chat. I was gonna say I think it started off a little slow, but like by the halfway point, dude, I was hooked. I was
Mhm.
absolutely hooked. And now, Ben, it's it's a good show. And Marriage Story did something similar, where I genuinely don't know what girl I'd want him to end up with, um, because I was watching the show. I was watching, especially the last few episodes, and dude, Hina and Shinatsu, man, they it's definitely not a one sided battle is all I'm saying. I think it's definitely I think it definitely picked up, man. And I will say, dude, the animation I don't know if I should say it's the best this season, but it's definitely the most consistent.
Yeah.
For sure. And I really loved it. The opening is so good. I really like the opening. It's just a great show, man. We've glazed the show a lot. We've talked about it before, but yeah, dude. I mean, just the story is so good. It doesn't seem like your cookie cutter rom com at all. I love
Oh
how
no.
they genuinely have passions and drives. And the whole sports element I thought was kind of weird how they're all in different sports, and I was just like, how is this going to play out? But it's been great, man. I think it adds so much to their characters, and the fact that they're all in different sports kind of makes it cool to see how they all have different struggles.
Mhm.
Especially like how Chinatsu goes from being on a team sport to where um, to oh my god, Taiki and Hina are on their own sports, so like they kind of just they're fighting themselves. So it's just cool. It's a great series. I loved it so far, and I've seen already stuff people saying about the second opening that it seems like it's focusing a lot more on Hina than it is on Shinatsu. So
Yeah.
don't know what that means, but I don't know. It's good, but I really liked it, especially the last few episodes. I think when we finally got more of Hina's backstory, her feelings from her perspective, and then just the whole firework festival arc, that was beautiful. So that's just
Was.
yeah, my little quick little recap. I don't know. I couldn't tell you who I'd want him to end up with right now, but I was just very let's just say I was very distraught whenever he was with Chinatsu, leaving Hina there. I was like, bro, you're throwing so hard right now. So I don't know. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, Ben.
I'm glad I'm forgetting the guy's name from Rent a Girlfriend because it shows that I'm healing.
Kazuya,
But
Kazuya.
Kazuya. I just want. I think everyone, all the like rom-com main characters, need to take Kazuya as an example and just do everything that he doesn't do. He's just terrible. I hate him.
He's
But I don't
just
know.
the worst.
I think I don't know. It's weird because it's just picks. It's not really a break. Like I don't know why they're doing
Hmm.
two cores really.
Yeah.
It just picks up on Thursday.
Hmm.
So I'm glad we don't have a break. Like we can just keep watching it for what another like
Totally.
2-3 months maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder how long the manga is.
I don't know. It seems like there's quite a few volumes from what I've seen. Let me see. Let's figure that out right now. Let's see. There are
It's
14.
ongoing.
There's up to 14 volumes. Is it on? Is it a Shonen? It's a lot. Is it on Shonen Jump or no?
Yeah, it is. It's weekly Shonen Jump. Maybe it's in those magazines we bought.
Oh, that'd be sick.
It's
Um,
been in the weekly Jump since April 2021.
Let me see if I can see how many chapters it's on. Blue box. So there's 14 volumes in the US. Oh boy, I think froze. That's wonderful. Well, regardless. Um, wow, my Google just froze. That's great. Yeah,
Nice.
but no, yeah, I liked it a lot. I think that's another. You brought up a good point. Taiki is definitely a good protagonist, man. Um,
Mhm.
it is very hard. A lot of the other protagonists in other mangas, especially, sometimes seem a little just like kind of basic and not really there. But
Yeah.
he's definitely one that I cared for and rooted for. It was very nice. I liked it a lot. Okay, it's not showing me how many chapters. Okay, the blue box are out. Thank you, Viz. That's great. Oh my, it's up to 170, 178. It's at 100,
Really?
178 chapters. So we probably got a long way to go. And they're up to, yeah, 13, volume 13 in the US. That's crazy, which is, yeah, okay. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of content out there. But hopefully that means it gets to going for a while. At least 2 or 3 seasons would be nice. But yeah, and I love how it seems to be moving, Ben. It seems to be moving in a direction. Um, it's not complacent. It's not like it's just not Red a Girlfriend, and that's nice. That's so nice
Yeah.
to see progression and stuff moving forward. Especially because we know there's a timeline. They're in school. They're trying to get to the nationals, so there is a timeline and pace that it has to follow. So it's exciting. It's exciting, and I love how we got these small hints that Shinatsu seems to be somewhat maybe interested in Taiki, and it's kind of just like
Yeah.
getting in her own way. She seems to be the one that's stopping her feelings from being professed
Hmm.
to Taiki. So that's very nice to see that it's not all in his head and that the feelings might be being reciprocated, but just slightly, and that they're being repressed by Chinatsu. So yeah, Ben, I'm excited for the second core, but yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed with Hina. Is all I'm saying. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. But yeah, Ben, did you have any? Are you on any particular? Are you on the fence? What are you thinking?
I think I'm definitely Team Shinatsu.
Whoa,
Um, is that
crazy.
a hot take?
No, no, it's not. It's not. But it's just yeah, it's to be
I
so
don't know. It's
decided.
just I don't know. Like that was the main person in the beginning. I
Hmm.
don't, I don't sometimes I enjoy love triangles, but like sometimes it's just let him get with that girl, you know?
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. I like love triangles. It's fun. It's spicy. It adds drama. But yeah,
Mhm.
so that's Blue Box. We'll be covering it again whenever it comes back. So don't worry. This is just our like halfway thoughts on the show so far, and it's been great. So I'm loving it, and I'm definitely going to keep up with it as well. Definitely out of the shows, it was definitely our hidden gem that we found and fell in love with this core, or this this year. So it's
Mhm.
very nice. Again, like we said, it's awesome to see shows like that. So that's great. But before we move on, Ben, to our next show, I just thought it was funny. My friend's in Japan right now, and he's eating for dinner raw horse. He's eating the raw horse. He sent me a picture, and I was like, I don't know how I
Is
feel
that
about that.
safe?
Oh, apparently you can eat raw chicken in Japan, man. So I don't know. I think anything's on the table there. So um, yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, you can eat raw chicken in Japan because apparently they don't put the same like obviously chemicals whenever they're feeding chickens here in the U.S. or something. So yeah, you can eat raw
But
chicken.
that's for like salmonella. Raw chicken, if you eat raw chicken, you get salmonella.
That's what
That's
I've been
weird.
told. So, but yeah. So, anyways, I just thought that was odd. I don't know if I'd try horse. That seems. I mean, I guess I would. It's
Uh,
probably gender, right? Because it's probably a lot of muscle. I'm assuming. So
I just don't know what it tastes like. It's just like beef. Is that what it just tastes like?
he said. I think he said it tasted like beef. What did he say? Yeah,
I feel
very
like if you
beef
didn't tell
like.
me it was even horse, I'd be fine with it. But
He sent me a picture. I'll show it to you when you get here. It looks very like. It doesn't
like,
look
I don't
like
know
beef though.
the cuts on horse. Is that a thing?
I'll just show you a picture when you get here. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
so just a random little side note. But anyways, Ben, moving on to our next show, I think we got to talk about Dandadan. I think Dandadan's a good one to discuss next.
Mhm.
This is more so for you, Ben. I have a lot of thoughts, but I read the manga, so I knew everything that was going to be happening. Again, it's very nice that you, for once, are not in the loop of what's going on. And I actually just probably, um, what's up? Sorry.
The tables have turned for once.
Oh no, I know, and it definitely. I don't know how you do it, Ben. I kind of like being in the dark still sometimes, but um, regardless, it was an awesome season, and I think I just finished volume 8 or 9, which is actually where probably season 2 will end. So, or actually, that's not true. Maybe we'll get to like 10 or 11. So I'm almost kind of around the halfway point, probably where season 2 will be. So it's
Mhm.
exciting, man. It's so great, and it's only getting better. It's so fun and wacky and goofy that it's just awesome. So, yeah, but Ben, what are your thoughts, man? What is your impressions of Dawn to Dawn? I know whenever I first way back when explained it to you, you kind of were a little conflicted about watching it, but now
It was.
that it's happened, what are your takes?
I I really enjoyed it. It sometimes it's watching a new show. Sometimes it's hard for it to like to click and for you to
Hmm.
like want to watch it again. But I think the first episode of Dandadan really gets you hooked because of how like fast paced it is.
Yes, extremely.
Um, and it kind of sets up the whole thing between Momo and Elkarun. And just like it sets the tone for the story in a really good way. And I don't see how anyone can hate it.
Absolutely.
It's a tad bit weird,
A little bit.
just the premise of things. And but I think after you get over that, it's a really good show with a really good story.
Hmm.
Um, and I enjoyed it because, or one of the reasons I really enjoyed it is because at work, pretty much everyone I work with watches anime, and so
Hmm.
this one girl, she had read it, and she's like, you guys need to watch it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Like, you guys do need to watch it because I had read the first volume or so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and these two guys, they thought it was the weirdest thing ever, and they hated it.
What?
I they hated the
No.
first, and so he was like, yeah, no, I didn't like what they were doing with all the colors, and the animation was really weird. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till it ends, and then I'll watch it. Um,
Wow.
yeah, but he ended up watching it before it ended, and he liked it. But it
Okay.
was fun to just to talk about a new show, and that new show being Dandadan just made it even better because
Mm-hmm.
it kind of felt like when Chainsaw Man came out,
Mm-hmm.
like I was seeing on the internet like, oh my gosh, this manga is really good. You guys need to read it. And it's like, oh, it's getting an anime, and it got an
Mm-hmm.
anime. And it's like everyone was talking about it, and it's fun to be part of
It is.
that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
especially with a show like Ramadan. But yeah, I'm glad. I was really interested with Gigi because I didn't get to see him whenever I was reading. So I didn't know what his whole character was. I thought he was gonna be really serious, but he
Yep.
wasn't.
That's what everyone says. It's awesome.
Um, but the last episode got me really excited for season
Oh
two.
yes. Yes.
Um, just because I felt like this first season was really setting up the characters and who they are and how they act with one another, which is fine. But season two feels like there's a definite like grounded story kind of subplot that we're going after, which I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy. Because I know the main plot is Okarun and is, you know, but I always like the progress of getting through that story
Mm-hmm.
rather than start to finish. So I want to see how this plays into Okarun's part or
Yes.
main part of this.
No, absolutely. It's great. I definitely will say its pacing is beautiful. We get to see a lot more. I'm very excited to see how they continue to grow Momo and Okarun's relationship, as well as
Mhm.
yeah, Okarun just kind of evolving into this more complete character, and just getting to see all the other characters that they introduce and interact with. And there's so many cool. I think what's really cool about this topic and theme is that there is so much material of ghosts and aliens and all of the paranormal and then occult. So it's very cool and exciting to see how much stuff and material that the author could probably take from and turn it into something that can be, made fun of in a fun way in the show. This next arc is really cool and it tackles some really cool lore and mythos of like it's not alien stuff. It's more ghosts, or it is more alien stuff. So I really love it, as well as the ghost stuff as well is very interesting. And there's just so much cool stuff that gets involved with and introduced and played out in such a unique way. It's great. It's awesome. This next arc, the Evil Eye arc, is really good. It's so fun. It's fast paced and it's very intense. So it's very fun. And then yeah, it's good. It's gonna be exciting. I'm very happy to see more of Gigi. He's definitely one of my favorite characters because he's just exactly like you said. Everyone thinks he's really serious, and then as soon as like you see him act, he's just a goofball.
Yeah.
So he's very fun, and yeah, it's very fun getting to see the main cast interact with each other. I think it's a very good, well-rounded group that I feel like we don't get to see as much often anymore. It seems like everyone's kind of serious. I mean, you look at your trios from like JJK or Chainsaw Man or anything like that. It is very much a lot more serious compared to
Mhm.
this. It's definitely a lot more lighthearted. So it's fun. It's a great time. The cast is awesome. But yeah, I think everything they did with season one was really well. And I think season two is only going to be better. And it's really cool to see Science Saru turning it out really quickly
Mhm.
in July. So it's right around the corner already, man. So
Yeah, that's
it's
like
almost there.
a really impressive turnaround because, like Chainsaw Man, we've waited so long just for this movie. JJK, I felt
Hmm.
like we waited a long time
Yeah.
for season two.
And see, I think a part of that too is that that's Mappa who's tackling so much and only has so much staff. But whereas we have Science Saru that I don't know what else they're working on. So I mean, I'm sure it's not nearly as much. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know the last thing I saw them do was Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and that's already over. So yeah, so hopefully it just means that they just have more time to dedicate to it is what I'm hoping for. So, and
Yep.
that's great, man. If it's the same quality and we still get it, then I cannot be more happier. So just let him. I'm just gonna keep letting him cook because it seems like it's working. So yeah, that's Dandadan. Dandadan, it was great. Hopefully we get another banging intro in season two because I feel like it's gonna be hard to top. So
You
I'm
think they're
excited.
gonna stick with creepy nuts? Because I know shows they tend um to stick with one band, or at least the newer ones. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
because I know Blue Lock they've had the same band. Um, I
Has
know
it really?
Naruto did
Oh,
a
it
lot of
has been.
openings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naruto did a lot of openings with the same band as well in
Mm-hmm.
Boruto.
Yeah,
Both in
Kaguya-sama
Boruto.
did too. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be cool. I'd really like them to stick with Creepy Nuts. I think they've been turning out a lot of awesome music lately. So
Yep.
I would be happy with them sticking around. I think they have a really cool, unique taste that honestly seems to fit the vibe of Dandadan really well. So I mean, I'm here for it. So I'd be down, but we'll see. But next up, Ben, it's the big bleach. It is it's here, and boy oh boy do I have thoughts.
Yeah, I
Um,
want to hear your thoughts on these last two episodes.
yeah, so I
Three?
don't think I
Three
don't
episodes.
the last four. I don't think I've seen a lot of them with you.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to remember all the big
A
fights that
lot.
happened that we saw. We saw. I always forget his name. The voice of the voice of Frieza. I forget his name. If as soon as you say it, I'll know it. It's
Irie.
yeah. What's his name?
The weird looking guy, right? With
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
fingernails and Myri.
My okay, yeah, Myri. His fight was incredible against the baby, or the left hand of the Soul King. That was
Mhm.
it's so hard to choose my favorite fight from this arc, dude. Um, um, yeah, it was so good. And then after that, we have the fight with who is after that? I think we have is it it's the other captain, the floral one, right?
Yeah. Uh,
Isn't it like
there's Myri, and then his lieutenant fights Nanao, or not Nanao, Nemu. She
mm-hmm.
fights, and then we get their little backstory. Then Kyoraku, he
Kyoraku? That's
fights,
what his name is.
and then his lieutenant also, they get a little backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And then after
else
that,
with
after that is the Bazi B versus um
Ugram.
yeah, Ugrim. That was a really good fight.
That's my
And
favorite episode.
really, your favorite episode?
That was always my favorite, like, subplot.
Mm-hmm.
Them two.
Yeah.
And I think the fight was really well done. It looked really different than the rest of
Mm-hmm.
the fights for
It
some
did.
reason. It looked really good.
It did. And then we get a little bit of Yoruichi versus oh my god, I forgot his name. I forget his name too. There's so many characters, dude.
I know.
Um
That's a lot. His
yeah.
name's Askin.
Askin. Yeah, so Yoruichi versus Askin. That another great little mini fight that we get to see that's not completely finished yet. That we'll probably see in the next core as well. But dang, Yoruichi ate, bro. She left no crumbs, dude. Oh man, what a character entrance, Ben. Let me tell you.
I
Um,
feel like he didn't look like that at the beginning of the
dude, she
series.
didn't, bro. I swear, I thought they nerfed her like big time. Like, but now she's back, bro. She's back. And then we also get to see a hint at another upcoming fight with the one of the other stiff rider. Dude, I'm not even gonna try.
Right?
Stern riders of Gerald the Valkyrie, Gerald Valkyrie, the
Okay.
Miracle, and I was like, oh my god, like it's just so much good peak. Um,
Yeah.
we had some great fights throughout this arc, Ben. Throughout part three, it seemed like at the beginning it was a little bit definitely slower than the other parts. It seemed like it started off with a bit more talking, but then once again, dude, it gets right into the action quickly, and we get to see a lot more happen. We learn more about Yuha Bak's plan. We get to see what is actually happening with the destruction of all three of the worlds, Hueco Mundo, Earth, and Soul Society. So that's really cool to learn more about the stakes and what's happening. But I do have some lingering questions. Um, Mostly because I'm an idiot and I need to rewatch the part one of Bleach probably.
Yep.
just because there's a lot of characters that I feel like are back that I'm just like, dude, like I watched Bleach, bro. I don't know how I forget so many characters. Um,
There are a lot of characters. I don't blame you.
yeah, but like some of it is just like I need a refresher. But yeah, I mean, I'll start off by just giving the pros and the cons. Um, I have one big con, and I need to see. I think it's just because I need to see how part four ends and like how part four progresses. But
Okay.
I I genuinely don't have many complaints, man. It was incredible. All the fights, starting off from the very first episode where we get to see the end of the fight with the Squad Zero head captain versus Yuha Bak, and then
Hmm.
just moving on every time after that, getting the backstory, the lore, seeing some of the captains. You know, we get to see so much death. It literally feels like the Game of Thrones of anime. It's just so much is happening. All of our favorite characters are just dying in front of us.
Yeah.
The fights are just, it was so good. I wish we got more of Ichigo fighting. It didn't seem like he was much in it as much. I think we only get, does he even, who does he fight? Oh, he fights Ishida. He gets to fight with Ishida, at least in this first, at the beginning of the arc for a little bit,
Hmm.
but is ended pretty quickly. So it would have been nice to see more of Ichigo, but I'm sure we are going to get our fill of him in the next core. So I'm not too worried about that. But I mean, just yeah, Ben, it's really hard to complain about this. I love Ben, like just how, like I don't even know what the word is, but like just the artistic style, like the fight with Rio, what's his name, Kyoraku, um,
Yep.
like when it ends with him there, like and then it says like Bleach episode like 38, and then I was
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, it was so clean, bro. Like it is just so creative. Or and then one of the episodes, I think the like ending word was like friend, like that was the name of the episode, and then
Yeah.
like just how they do like they change the color of friend to the last three letters END to be red, so it's like end as well. Oh my, like the title cards are just so creative. It's so unique, man. It shows, like when you do stuff like that, it shows like they really care about every single episode, and that it really felt, Ben, especially these last 4 or 5 episodes, that like each one was like it's a mini movie. It felt like, and it's that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so cool. Like I think that is so impressive when you have so many characters, and although I don't know the names of them, I know pretty well like what they are about still, and like I still know enough to care about them is what I'm saying. Um, and I think that's really impressive. I think that's something that you got to commend, and it's great, man. It is so much going on, and it makes the stakes even more high when you have so much characters you care about, and you see all this death and destruction happening. Where each battle you're seeing so many characters you've liked die and get attacked and injured. It's really cool. It's really cool, and I think that that is a very rare thing to happen in anime. And when it does happen, it shows how impactful the show is and the legacy it's going to have. And I think that's what's going to happen with Bleach. So
Hmm.
no complaints there. Like I said, this almost a 100% show. But I will say, Ben, I'm not a big a fan. Oh, and then we get to see it was cool getting to see Ichigo and Ishida's dad show up at the end of the arc. That was cool.
What do you
But I'll
think
start
we're
off
gonna
with
do?
I really don't know. I genuinely don't. So um, I'm curious, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be something with. It has to be something with Ichigo and Ishida, obviously. Something to do with maybe their blood, because Ishida being saying he's the only one who can stop the Soul King because of his blood that it's combined with it,
Hmm.
and I'm like, maybe Ichigo can somehow do it as well. I don't know, but yes, one big thing I have a question about, Ben, and this seems very important because one, he was able to harm the Sternright and Sternrider, and then because I think he was dead and came back to life. The man, whenever we get that small little scene where we return to Soul Society, like the bottom
Oh
part,
yeah.
and we get
Uh-huh.
to see a man with a giant hole in his chest with the moon right behind it, framed in a perfect,
Rough.
yeah, with his sword in the shape of like a J, like a candy cane.
Yep. Hmm.
So, could you give me a little refresher on who this gentleman is?
So he died a while ago. Died.
Okay,
Died.
because the only reason I remembered him was because I remember seeing his Zanpakuto. I was like, I remember seeing
I
a
think
Zanpakuto that was in that shape.
I think it was in the beginning of the second core, maybe.
Of Bleach?
Whenever, yeah, it was whenever like they were all invading the Soul Society. It might have even been the first core, to be honest.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
it was a while ago, but they explain how he's not dead. I
Mhm.
think.
So yeah,
Um,
he's returned, and it seemed like he was able to do serious damage to that giant, the Stern Rider, who became like that weird Evangelion looking angel thing. So um,
yeah.
he's back.
One thing that I do enjoy about Bleach is most things do get explained, and this is one of the things
Yes.
that does get explained.
Hmm.
So, so you're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yes. I did like whenever we get Gerald Valkyrie, whenever he's there, and he's like he's ready to take on all the 13, like it's the 13, court or squad people, captains, and just the lieutenants. And he's like, dude, just take me on all at once. And then he ends up getting wiped. And then Byakuya's like, he just kind of KOs him, cuts off his head, and like just tries to destroy him. I was like, thank you. Like, it was like saying the first thing in like anime that like I've been wanting everyone to say, like, dude, just kill him. He's there, he's yapping.
Yeah,
Just let him finish him, please. And obviously, it was part of his plan. But still, regardless, it was very nice. That was very satisfying to be like, oh my god, finally someone did it. So
he just kept going at it too. Like he did it
yeah.
like
Oh
three
my
times.
god. Yes,
That's so
exactly.
crazy.
So that was funny. But yeah, Ben, I think my one complaint is I would just like to I want and I know it was the last episode. I feel like they could have done more with the very last episode. I literally ended it and it was like there was like 8 minutes left in the episode. And I was like, really? This is how
Yeah,
like they're ending it. Um,
yeah.
but I don't know how I feel about this Ishta swapping so easily, so quickly, back to just revealing that like as soon as the other guy shows up with Yuha Box Power, he's just like, yeah, so I know you're the traitor. I know it's in his eyes to see the future. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just like like that's how fast we get the reveal. Like just that
Hmm.
he's kind of like a good guy still, and then we get to see him talk to Ichigo, and I just wish I would have felt. And again, I know it's the heat of the moment, and like things are like moving very fast. So that's why I'm not being. I don't want to be too critical because I'm sure we still have a whole nother core for them to talk and explain things.
Yeah.
But I don't. I was like, like he's just like, yeah. So I just couldn't tell y'all, and I was just like, okay, but I was like, come on, man. Um,
I think most of it was just literally just because like Yuhabak and Ugram they could see into the future and
Correct.
they knew what Ishida was thinking. So like all
Hmm.
that time he kind of had to play along with it. Like I mean he nearly killed Ichigo at one point.
Yeah.
So um but I guess after that the Yugo kind of found out so he just didn't really care,
Hmm.
which was I mean they probably could have built it up a little bit more, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was hoping it'd be a little more dramatic, is all. Like it felt
yeah.
like it was
No,
always just him. I mean, maybe it's more realistic this way, which fair enough. But I was really hoping for it to be maybe a little more dramatic. At least maybe for Grim to play stupid or something, and then be like, "Yeah, I know what you're like, yeah." So, but I don't know. That's not too big of an issue. But that was really the only one minor thing. I mean, everything else has been great, and I think that's a huge compliment to Bleach.
mhm,
It's been incredible, man. I genuinely,
yeah.
it's been fun. Every fight has been unique. I feel like there's still so many questions I have. I'm still very curious to see Aizen's part and everything. Because damn it, if he's only stuck, he cannot be stuck to a chair for the rest of it. So I'm
We'll
very
see.
curious to see how he's gonna regain power. It'd be very cool if they do like a almost like a Naruto Shippuden, where we kind of just find out last minute about there being like a goddess, this like other being who comes down. And then maybe it's that like for this case it's Aizen who's just like, yeah, so this was my plan all along, and then it's like a rematch between him and Ichigo or something like that.
Oh
That'd be
my gosh.
incredible. Yeah, like yeah, that'd be sick. So I don't know, but it's I'm excited, man. I There's not much else to say besides being excited. The show has been nothing but hype. Every episode has been great. We got awesome content that Ben has told me isn't even in the manga. Like getting to see Shinji reunite with all the other members of his group whenever they were expelled from Soul Society. It was
Mhm.
awesome getting to see them all with their masks again. It was great. It was great. So
Yeah, they were not in this arc in the manga. Like even Shinji,
really,
he had like two panels in it maybe. So it's
what?
yeah, like they were really glossed over. Which
Damn.
I'm excited for the last core because even after or whenever the manga originally ended, like Kubo was like, yeah, I was really rushed and I didn't have time to like think things through or go in depth on things or end it the way I wanted to. So it's cool that like we basically have
The
half
completed
a season
version.
where we know it's going to happen, and then another half which is going to be filled with
Hmm.
all new stuff. Which is
That's
it's still like because Kubo's still supervising the
mm,
whole anime, but it's still what he wants to do with the story, which is cool.
that's awesome. That is so exciting. I am so hyped. I am so hyped for it. It's gonna be great. Um, but yeah, that's Bleach, man. I know we're on a time crunch, Ben, so I'm gonna try and speed along here to Blue
For
Lock. But yeah, Bleach was great. I'm excited for part four. We don't know when it's coming out yet, do we? I just know we got a trailer already. I think it's called The Calamity. That's
yep.
the part four title. So I mean, I feel like that's gonna summarize it pretty well about what's gonna go down. So yeah, hopefully it comes out next year. And we
Yeah.
got to talk about it
I would
soon.
assume so.
Hmm. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
Bleach. But now, Ben, it is time to talk about arguably. I'll say it, Ben. Arguably, I know a lot of
Hey,
people. I was
please.
looking online. Um, a lot of people online were trying to be like, man, dude, Kuroko no Basket season like 1 and 2 had some great animation, but
Here.
I don't even care because I will say that arguably, at least from what I've seen, the like 2 or 3 sports anime I've watched, this has by far been the best one. I
Yeah.
It has been peak. This U20 arc, Ben, has gotten me so into like soccer, it's insane. Um,
Hmm.
it's been so awesome. I cannot stress enough how much fun this was. I loved it. I loved every second of this arc. It was so hype, and I genuinely do not know how it's going to get better from here. Here on out,
It.
it was incredible. The whole start to finish. As soon as it starts, when like you feel the pressure as soon as it starts, seeing the arena fill up with the fans, and it's just like
Mhm.
it's such a like change. It is such like it feels like Attack on Titan season 1, 2, and 3 shifting to Attack on Titan season 4. Like that's how it
Mhm.
felt, and that's I know it's a crazy comparison, but that's just like just goes to show how like good the storytelling was up until that point, to where you're building a show like it's so creative. My hat is off to the mangaka because it is such a cool concept getting to see all these characters, that the whole show and identity of the show is built around these characters wanting to play selfishly and play for
Yeah.
themselves and to grow their like quote unquote ego. And I mean, I think that is so creative and unique, and I think they execute it so well as a concept. And I think this final episode of the Blue Lock season 2 shows that beautifully, and is like it was beautiful from day one, like from the start. The character designs I love. I think all the characters look so unique and creative. Um, it's so easy to tell them all apart, and their designs are so colorful, and it's just so creative. Especially when you got to make a show where all the characters need to have their own identity for you to care about them. It's so
Yeah.
easy to distinguish them like that. Something where I feel like in Crocono Basket you kind of didn't get, since I guess you could argue Crocodile Basket tries to be more grounded, and I don't know, like all the characters just look like regular kids and like teenagers that all have the same haircut and stuff like that. But this one they look unique, and like they look so
Yeah.
like I don't know, like a lot more animated, which is great. And yeah, but I mean, you could give your spiel about it, but I think this was incredible. That whole last episode was beautiful. It was
It
so
was.
so hype. We finally got to see, Ben, what where the animation budget went. It was,
Yeah.
and
So
I
I guess
think it
we'll
was
start
worth
here.
it.
People are theorizing that they actually started backwards. They started with the last episode. and worked backwards.
That's fair, dude. That's fair.
I mean, okay, so I guess I'll knock out the elephant in the room, the animation. So
Yes.
obviously there were really high highs and really low lows,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
like reading like how do I put this? I feel like they did all the really important parts fine. Like
Mm-hmm.
the important parts that people who read the manga cared about, they did perfect, I think. And it sucks that they can't do the whole thing perfect, but it kind of branches out or opens this new path where it's like you you get even more hyped whenever you see something that's like not what it usually looks like,
Yes.
and it
Yep.
looks
Mm-hmm.
so much better.
The
I
payoff
think
was
that just
huge. It was, yeah.
it helped it's like a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to get the best animation all the time, but in the moments whenever it really matters, what you get like really good animation. And I think I'm fine with that.
I agree.
Like as much of an action story as Bullock is, there's a lot of dialogue and talking in it. So it doesn't need to be super animated all the time, I think, as long as the important goals are done justice and the
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere, which was I think the atmosphere for this arc was done amazing.
Yes. Yep.
One thing that I really enjoyed that they didn't do in the manga was every now and then they'd cut to characters in the crowd, right? Like there was this guy and a girl up in a box, and there are these two guys in the stands, and then the kid.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and watch, you show their interest into the match progress
Yep.
over time. Like the girl at first, she was on her phone half the time, but whenever Isagi scored, like she was up and screaming with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just shows the hype around the match and the atmosphere that they're in, and it's really awesome.
Yes, and I think too to go off of that the atmosphere vibe, I think it's so cool, and we're not even Japanese, and just like the fact that everyone there is under the whole like idea and like knowledge that like okay, at first yeah, I'm obviously here to see this star player on the U20 team, but it's like it
Mhm.
is so cool to see these are the people who are going to represent my country, for the like next so and so years, like play, and
Yeah,
like these are the like some of the best players in Japan like competing to for a spot on this national
yeah,
team. And just whenever I think that is summarized so well by everyone starts off by cheering for just the U20, but then they're slowly like, oh my god, these Blue Lock guys are like insane too. And like by the end
mhm.
of it, everyone isn't shouting Blue Lock. They're shouting Japan. Like it's I think that is
Yeah,
just so cool, and I think they did that so well to make it to
yeah,
where people are going to be hyped just to like see these new guys. And I think you're so right. That atmosphere was done so well. Yeah, getting to see like that girl who's like, oh my, who's that guy? Like he runs super fast, and like the little boy at the end, like after the whole stadium is cleared and he's still there, just like
yeah,
wow. Like I watched this insane match. Even the announcers, the commentators are like, dude, I wasn't expecting it to be like this. You see their like sheets all marked with these new guys, like it's on Bachiro's
yeah.
face, and, like his skills and like just that they're taking notice. It was so sick. It was
Mhm.
awesome. Like oh my god, like I felt like I was there in the arena, like getting hyped.
Mhm.
And then just yeah, I like you said, the animation was amazing, and I think Isagi's goal, his pose, um,
Tick.
it
Oh,
was incredible. And I was watching it literally right before we started this TikTok of people reacting to it, and like some of these guys watching it like did the pose immediately after. Like I
I
hope
love
then that there's some
that.
like weird soccer fanatic who's like really into soccer and like does that pose eventually. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we get to talk about this, or we haven't talked about Blue Lock since Shido scored his first goal, but
Hmm.
um, that his second goal, that's a real life goal. Like someone
Oh,
like that whole sequence is based off an actual goal that happened in Europe, which
that's
is really cool.
sick. That's so awesome.
Like down to the last detail, it's really cool.
Hmm.
But I think, oh my gosh, like even that whole sequence with Shido and his bicycle kick. Another thing that I really loved about this season was the soundtracks that they used. I feel like they were really good. And in season one, I feel like they just stuck with the few same soundtracks. But the ones that they used here, they kind of fit the moment, I feel
Hmm.
like, which is awesome. Um, what else? I
I
like how
or go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, sorry.
No, no, you're fine.
I like how in this season we finally get to Blue Lock's version of the zone, which is the flow.
Yep.
I really enjoy how every sports anime touches up on that, and they do it in their own unique way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's cool to see how it's done in Blue Lock. I'm sure you've noticed the eyes. Eyes
Yes.
are a really big thing, and they kind of show the state at which the player's in. Um, so the kind of there's so many eyes. It's really hard to explain, but we've seen a lot of the kind of black eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like Rins towards the or like yeah, we've
Yeah,
already
yeah,
seen those two before.
yeah. So those are kind of the eyes that you get when you're leading up to flow. But you're
Mm-hmm.
not kind of in a flow state yet. But we saw IQ get into flow at the end. Isagi gets into flow. Um, and then Rin's he's right there, but that his whole thing is completely different, which is I don't want to touch up
Yeah.
on more.
It was the
Um,
opposite of his brothers, right? That's what they were explaining it
yeah,
as, that he
yeah,
devours their by, putting them at their potential and then breaking it down or something like that.
yeah,
So I'm like,
hmm
it's crazy. It was cool. I liked how like kind of similar to the ice thing. You're showing and talking about them all kind of having their own unique characteristics as well. Like Shido having the devil wings,
yeah, yeah,
Rayo having the chameleon, Bachira being like a monster. I can't take him seriously. And the fact it was so cool seeing like his mask like fully progress to cover his
yeah,
face. That was sick. And then Isagi, obviously with his puzzle pieces and luck, and I love it. And then Baru with like the bull. It's cool getting to see those like little characteristics about all these
yeah.
characters. And then yeah, I love it, dude. I love how dramatic and over the top it is. It's great. Um, yeah, I mean, if you want to talk more about the match, but then after that, I want to explain what I'm hoping is I don't know how it's gonna
Yeah,
look
yeah,
for the
totally.
future.
I want to pick your brain about a few more things, but
Hmm.
um, one other detail that it's really hard to notice, but they did add it. Um, you'll, gosh, so Sai is he's part of this group of soccer players called like the New Generation 11, right? That was they told us that back early in season one, but if you notice throughout the whole match, he actually doesn't sweat at all, like, and everyone else is
Oh,
drenched. So
yeah.
that kind of just shows you the level that he's at. Like he's not even trying, and everyone
Hmm.
else is like, busting their ass to win. But at the
I didn't
end,
even notice that.
right when him and Rin are doing their final matchup, you see like one little tiny drop of sweat on his face, which I always love seeing
Oh,
that
that's
detail
sick.
because it shows like his brother kind of pushed him to
Hmm.
this point. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, it's really hard to notice. I'm really glad they added it because I was worried they wouldn't.
And that goes
Um,
into my favorite part of this episode and what I've thought just got me so excited for wanting more of this show. Um, is the fact that is his conversation with Rin after the match, immediately after Sai's conversation with him, where he's literally just like he's like, hey, like, fuck, I forget how he words it, but then he's just like, I found the best striker, like, you've proven to me that it is possible for the best striker to come out of Japan or something. And then and then it seems like you're expecting him to say, obviously, Rin, but then he's like, yeah, Isagi's going to be the best striker. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I feel like that was just
yeah,
like the final, like, stab knife twist in his, like, back. And to be
you can
like,
see like
mm-hmm.
whenever Saya starts talking to him, like his eyes light up a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, it
Like,
changes back to when he was like a kid. It's,
yeah, yeah, that's
mm-hmm.
exactly how it is. And then he just like,
Yeah, and I was just like,
it's
oh my God, like to say that to him, and then Reen's conversation in the locker room when they saw him, he's literally, it looks like he wants to murder him, bro. Where it just seems like this is pushing him into like a darker spot. So I'm so excited to see how Rin progresses as a character from here, against
yeah,
Isagi, declaring him as his rival, which is crazy because again, my whole thing got answered, man. It seemed like at the start of this, I was kind of like, what is Usagi going to do? I don't really see the vision yet. And now it's like, he is like the motor. He is what is making this team run. He's the one creating these opportunities alongside being with Rin, and I
Yeah.
just think it is done so well from like an analytical point. Um, it is very cool. It
Mhm.
is very cool. It's very detailed. I love how every character is so unique. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for season 3 or a movie. I heard some people saying like they
I
said that
think
they wanted a movie next and then another and then the season 3. So I don't know what that means if the next.
to put this into perspective, how long this next arc is,
Oh gosh.
there the match that's going on right now has been
Mhm.
going on for over a year. The match before that was around a year, and the match before that was also a year.
Oh my gosh.
So there's no way they don't do a movie or
Yeah.
movies for this. It's
Uh-huh.
very
Wow.
because we're already so long.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
hopefully if it's movies we get some better animation, man. But who
yeah.
knows?
Um,
Um, but that's exciting. But I guess to start going into details into talking about season 3 and
mhm.
what we want to come. We got a little teaser at the end. We got a teaser. We got 2 teasers. It seemed we saw Ego talking to a council of people, saying that I think he asked if the world is ready for Blue Lock to arrive or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And we get to see. It looks like an old familiar face. I think is that who it was, or am I wrong?
What do you think?
It seemed it was a guy with orange hair, so I immediately went to Ichigo, the Ichigo lookalike. Who was it? Him?
Yeah, that is
Okay.
him.
Yes, that's what I thought. I was like, hell yes, he's back. I should have
He
looked
looks
a
a
little
little.
more. He did look different. That's what I was gonna say. So I'm curious to see how that goes. And then it ends, and then immediately after that, we get into seeing our boy Kaiser. Kaiser,
Oh,
the
he sounds so
apparently
good.
one of the goats.
No, but the voice actor they chose,
Hmm.
I think it's really good. He plays Doma in Demon Slayer,
Yes,
and then
yes.
also who was it?
I think he plays one of the guys from Fire Force, Joker, or not Joker. One of the
No,
other one. I think it was from Fire Force.
he
Um,
plays someone in Bungo Stray Dogs, but he sounds like his character, or the guy fits Kaiser
mm.
really well. And oh my gosh, dude,
Yeah. So this dude,
just
this dude looks like a man. He does not look like a child. Not look like a
no,
kid. Um, I've obviously heard from you, from my other friend, that this Kaiser person is apparently awesome. So he looks
if
pretty swole. He's got the JoJo tattoo on his but it's a rose on his back neck.
yeah,
So I don't know, man. I don't know. Although I don't want to say it's a spoiler because it's, I mean, it's, but I have seen the volume cover that he's on, which is 19 of Bleach,
hmm
or not Bleach, Blue Lock, and he does in that on the volume cover have that glass chain that you were talking about. So I'm very curious to see how that is going to play into his character.
yeah.
But besides that, that's really all I know about him. So I'm very excited. Um, I'm very curious to see how Blue Lock is going to progress from here on out, especially because Ego's telling him that nothing has changed in the sense of I'm still going to make one of you the best striker in the world. So
hmm
I'm excited to see how it progresses. Is Shido going to be another thing with Shido? Is he going to be rejoining Blue Lock, or I don't know what his deal is? If he's gonna
There's,
how that's gonna work? If he's just staying with U20 or what's going on there?
it's kind of I won't. No, I guess I'll wait. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You'll see. I guess there's a
Oh.
one thing that they didn't they're gonna they'll animate at the start of the next season, but it's kind of like a transition to the next arc, which is really needed.
Mhm.
Um, that kind of lays out some groundwork for the next season. Um, but
Yeah,
but yeah,
because
you'll see.
I'm
You'll see.
excited. It's very like again they managed to do it well, but I'm very curious to see when we're gonna see them, if we're ever gonna see them play on a real team, like with characters like real defenders like IQ,
Mhm.
or anyone like real defenders. So, and it sucks too, because I would love to see some of these characters that we saw in the U20 return, like Sai, IQ, that other guy who's also one of the other prodigies, or he's supposed to be one of the other big characters from U20. It would be nice to see him come back. So,
Mhm.
that'd be sick.
Oh
It
yeah,
was the other guy with the pink hair. I think they also
yeah,
he had the same
Sendo.
hair color. Sendo, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, I'd love to see those characters return. So I'm really hoping that's not it for him. Especially IQ. I really liked him, so hoping
Mhm.
he's able to come back. But yeah, man, I think that this season, the way it ended, was incredible. Really needed. I loved it. It was fun, exciting, and just got me excited for more to come, man. I'm excited for Blue Lock. I'm so hyped. I'm officially here to say I'm a fan. So
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, it was great. It definitely makes me want to read the U20 arc at least, just to see how it looks in the
I would
manga.
definitely go back and read it because there are
Hmm.
some panels that it was I will say would have been really hard to animate.
Hmm.
Like I wouldn't say they're completely different, but just the art style in that manga is crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm also another thing too. I am curious to see if, with Blue Lock advancing more and more to getting better strike or to trim. I'm curious to see if we're gonna see the herd get trimmed down again, and if so, if we're gonna lose any big characters. I mean, we've already seen how Rayo didn't make the starting lineup this time,
mhm,
so I know he's on the fence too. Like those other two guys who are kind of main characters on the bench, the
yeah,
guy with the buzz cut, and then like the Bakugo lookalike. So I'm curious to see if like we start to see any more cuts like that, and if so, how it's going to happen.
I guess
Because the story, I guess, it needs to progress like that. So, um,
I'll just say this. Um, so at the end of the match, Asagi was like, I'll lead Japan to victory in the U20 World Cup, right?
mhm.
So
He does say though.
those that you bring to like those kind of competitions, you can only have like 20 people,
Mhm.
and I feel like we have a lot more than 20 people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mhm.
there will be some trimming down. I will say
Yeah.
that.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm excited. So yeah, man. But that was Blue Lock. I gotta say, what a way to end the year, man. What a way to end the year. We got some bangers to end off on. It was great. It was great. I can't believe Dandadan's over. Blue Lock is over for a while. Bleach, we gotta wait. It sucks, man. These downtimes are rough, man. But
Yeah,
it's fun while it lasted. But all we can do is just get excited for what's to come. So I think that's really all I got, Ben. What about you, man? Anything else? Any final burning questions?
uh, I don't think so. No, I'm very happy the way that Blue Lock ended.
Yes,
Um,
I concur.
that's kind of exactly how I imagined it in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I guess one minor tweak I would have done if I was animating it. Whenever that his luck piece shows up
Mm-hmm.
in the manga, it looks like I don't even know how to describe this. Instead of like it just sliding across the screen, do you remember that one kind of wide shot where all the puzzle pieces are flying from the sky and he's looking at the
Yes.
whole field?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's kind of played into that shot because it's like this luck piece falls and hits the ground and then it bounces up and then zooms out to Isagi right there.
Mm.
I thought that it looked cool in the manga, but I think they still did it perfectly. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
Um, I just thought that was a little detail that
Mm-hmm.
they animated differently. Um, but man, dude, God. Even the little camera shake whenever it's like it hit a camera when it went, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yes. It was great, man. It was such a good goal. It was awesome.
No,
I loved it.
awesome.
I loved how they did a post game interview. Like it was so cool. Like it seemed so legit. Like how an actual match
Mhm.
would go. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. They wrapped it up, bow and all. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a good place to end it. Episode 107 of the
Yeah.
Otaku Brothers podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you all in 2025. Because unfortunately, Ben and I think this is our last video for 2024. Actually,
It
yeah,
is.
and the next one is actually
What do
going
you
to be
hear?
probably pre-recorded. It's going to be our Otaku Awards, the third annual Otaku Awards show. where we shout out our
Third.
2024.
Third?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think it's our
god.
third one. So, third annual Otaku Brothers Award Show, where we rank all our shows from this year. Best anime, obviously. We got best fight, best boy, best girl, all that stuff, and more coming in next episode. So yeah, we'll be skiing it up when the time that episode comes out. So that'll
I'm
be
trying
fun.
to.
Trying to very hard and attempting to. So yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. We love you guys, and we will see you all next week for more in 2025. So that's crazy to say. So
I know.
yeah, we'll
We
see you all then. We'll see you all next year. So yeah, see you guys later. Arrivederci.
Bye bye. Peace.